Welcome back, another multi-look, multi-palette video. Still Natasha Denona. This is Tillamook because it's been that type of season for me. Today is October, let me get it right, 23rd. My uncle's service was yesterday, and it is after midnight, so it is actually the 23rd. We're using Lila palette. We are using Lila, and I am like acutely aware of all the purples since Roxa. These four right here are from Biba. So we are not going to use any of these four. So I was looking at this thinking, what can I do that's different? Because I feel like lately I've been doing ethereal looks, and I either go light to dark, inward, outward, or dark to light, outward, inward. And I'm like, you know what? Let's switch it up. So we're going to do darker and move to lighter outward. We're going to see. And we're going to do stuff with the brows. We're going to do a lot of stuff. I just feel like doing different stuff. The eyes are primed. Tillamook foundation. I did not powder down. Of course, this eye is tearing. I don't know why. But I'm glad it's always just one. Because if it was both of them, it'd be horrible. So we'll finish the face later. And hopefully the tearing will be in check for when I do pictures. So we're going to take Lila, this shade right here. We're using hourglass brushes for the most part, the number 3s and the number 6s, and we're going to be using the Esom V09. We're going to put color in the brows and MAC 210 for upper lash line. So we're going to put this here on the inner portion of the lid. I just really wanted to do something different. Y'all, the service was good. The service from Uncle was good. My GPS sent me in circles getting there, and so Princess had told me days ago, she said, if you want to call while you're driving, just call. You know, she's been very supportive of me through this process, and a lot of you have been. And so when it was over, I said to myself, let me get back on 295 South, because then I'll know where I am and I'll call her. And I had only had, I think, 2.5 hours sleep that day, yesterday morning. And so, okay, I'm on 295 South, and it was an hour and 10-minute ride to get home. And the highway split one way this way, one way another way, and I didn't pay attention to that. You know, I'm talking, and I'm not even going to say this because I was talking. I was really, part of me felt like I was zoned out, but not zoned out where I couldn't drive safely, just zoned out as far as being aware of where I was. And so the exit going north on 295 to get to where I needed to go for the service was exit 22. So I'm looking, I finally like paid attention to the numbers. I'm like, why are the numbers going up? I was at exit 55, and I'm like, where the fuck am I? If you're new here, I do curse and I didn't do the intro, so forgive me for that, if it does offend you. But I was just like, the number is supposed to go down. Because getting on, I live in Delaware, so getting on the bridge, when you get off, it starts at exit 1, and I get off at exit 22. So I'm like, how the hell am I at exit 55? And we're going to flip the brush over, and we're going to take this shade because I want to break up the purple a little bit. So this may look funky in a good way, but you know we're gonna rock it. So this shade right here is magentic, yeah. So we're gonna flip the brush over, and I ended up like where I was. It was still 295, and then somehow I was on, I don't know where I was. Like in my mind, I think I still was on 295, but I was going up towards like Trenton, New Jersey. I was like, what the hell? And in that area, all the exits go to a town. It's not like an exit where you can get off and then just get back on in the opposite direction. And so I'm like, I don't want to get off at one of these exits and like really be lost. So I was saying, let me just, you know, keep going till I see a town that's familiar to me where I could get off and then figure out how to get back on. So I think I got off at exit either 59 and, you know, it was just like, where? And so I said, this has got to go back to another main road. Like once I got off of the main highway, and then I saw, New Jersey Turnpike. I was like, okay, I know that. And I don't like driving on a turnpike because in some places it's only 2 lanes each way. So if there's an accident or a car breakdown, like it jams up traffic for miles and miles and miles. But I'm like, okay, I'm familiar with the turnpike. So I got on the turnpike coming south and then that splits to where, New York or, Philadelphia. So I'm like, okay, I know Philadelphia way because I got to go through Philadelphia by way of just the highway to get back to Delaware. And then even when I got back to Delaware, y'all, I just kept, I don't know, I was zoned out because I know how to get home. I know Delaware. But I ended up in the city of Newark, which is like 20 minutes south of where I live. And I'm just like, and I was on the right road, but I was going like in the wrong direction. And so instead of like west, I had ended up going east. And I'm just like, oh my God. So I finally, turned around because I was familiar too a little bit with that area. So I said, let me just get to another street that I know the name of it. And then if I need to just go into like an establishment and go out the other side to get on the right side of the road, then I can do that. But, and even when I got close to home, I'm like, okay, I saw a road I know that goes past my road to come home. And somehow I went past my road to come home. I was just like, how the hell? Y'all, let me tell you this. An hour and 10 ride, I was driving for 2.5 hours. I lied to you not. I was so exhausted. Wawa had offers in the app. And I had said to Princess, I said, I'm going to just go home. I just feel like I just need to go home. But because I passed my street, I look over and Wawa's right there. And I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm going to Wawa. So I went in there. And I got an offer for $1 off a classic. And I did 2 separate orders because then it was an offer for buy one, get one free for Mountain Dew. Now we're going to take this shade. Or do we want this shade? This is brighter. Let's take this one. This one is, this is Lila. This is Amethyst. That's the first shade. This is Magentic. This is Lila. And so we ended the call, when I was at Wawa. But y'all, I was driving 2.5 hours for an hour and 10-minute ride. I did fill up before I left because I had also, that same Wawa, I had, because I had enough rewards points, I redeemed however many it was to get 30 cents off per gallon of gas. And so I did have a full tank, getting on the highway to go to Jersey. But, yeah, by the time I got home, I had a little less than half a tank. Y'all, I was driving for 2.5 hours. I'm like, this is insane. And it's like, I knew, I was really just zoned out because there is no other reason. Like, that has never happened to me where, so coming back, once I was able to get on south, I was like, I need to really pay attention because the highways do split and they go in opposite directions. And so that's how I ended up almost in Trenton, up near Trenton, New Jersey and New Brunswick. And I'm just like, oh my God. I said, and she was like, how long is it going to take you to get home? I said, another hour. 2.5 hours. So shout out to Princess. I really appreciate it because, we were just chit-chatting and not even about the funeral stuff. We did talk briefly because she was like, how was it? How are you feeling? And then we talked about other stuff. And so it was nice having the company because I really feel like if I didn't have the company, I might have ended up in New York. Like, cause I was just driving and traffic was good. So I'm just cruising along at 80 and 85. And then I'm like, oh shit, like where the fuck? I have never done a look dark to light. It is different for me, and I admit that I like it. Let me know if you would try a look like this, going dark to light. And I don't think I've seen anybody do this before. And I thought to do a halo, but then I'm like, it's still going to be like a purplish type look. This has a grunge factor, or a goth factor, in the sense that the darkness is on the inside. You see what I'm saying? Oh, lower lash line Inner Realms Matte Color Excess Pool Shark, which is this green shade. And then I topped the lower lash line with Sick Tat Bro. So I'm just feeling, I just want to do something moody and something dark. And this I'm digging it. So where were we? So we were putting this here. All right, we're going to put that brush down. And I want to do a transition shade, but I do think this one was a tad ashy. Do I want to do this one? And this brush will blow it out, so I need a thinner brush. So actually we're going to take this Esom brush, E49. I wish they still sold it. I really like this brush. So we're going to take, actually let's just do it. Let's just tap straight in, tap off, and we're going to put that right here. So that'll help soften that line. And I don't know when I started using a shadow to soften lines, because I used to not use shadows to blend out other shadows at all. And I know a lot of people do. If it's a bold color story and there's like pinks and reds, you know, they'll say, I wish there was another pink in here to blend out the red. But usually I don't have problems blending out colors. But I do see the advantages of it. And so even this shade, it just softened it. So this is not really a color on me because of I'm doing just a thin line, but it is just kind of blurring it, and it's just making the purple look like it's going further up. So we're just going to where the center shade starts, and then we're going to take, if I can grab it, yep, and I did, my other E49. I was watching Grace's video, and we're going to take this one on this side. And she has the Sigma E40. So how I said like 49, she was like Sigma E40. And sometimes I do stuff like that too, like just saying stuff in a different kind of way. She's like E40. I don't have that brush. The Sigma brushes I have, except for the soft collection, are brushes that she sent me. And the Sigma stuff that I have, she sent me, except for a few items. And so when Sigma keeps sending me these emails, I need to unsubscribe. I get an email like every other day. I told another friend, I said, I feel like they're stalking me at this point. Like literally every other day, there's an email from Sigma. So I do like this. We're going to take that brush that had this this shade, and we're just going to blend here. So I'm looking at the shapes. And I like how the gradient, and it does just kind of blend into my skin tone, but it's a shimmer shade. It's a metallic actually. All three of these on the lid are metallics. This, I didn't tell you what it was. This is Per Se, it's a creamy matte. This shade here is Nude Vino, and this is also a creamy matte. So we're just checking the shapes, which is not much to see because this does just blend in, but you see the shine. I like it though. I really like this, but do let me know if you would do this, because this is hella different. We're going to blow out lower lash line. We have our 2 of the Hourglass number 9s. And what did I think to put there? What did I think to put under there earlier? We're going to take this shade. This one is Cyclone, which is a dual chrome. We're going to see what this looks like. So we're tapping straight in. We're going to start on this side because this one is, we're going to take this all the way across. So this has that green and then the brown on top of the green, and this is a dual chrome. So we got a lot of stuff. I like that. So you really just kind of see it underneath that line, even though I am putting it on the line. And so much so that I got shadow in my eye. This is definitely a different type of look. I like it though. So we're going to tap in, tap off. And we're going to start here because the inside is a little wet and here is a little wet. So if we need to fix that, we will. I'm starting to sweat. It is 75 in here. It was, I think it was in the 60s earlier today. Nice cool breeze. And then it got warm. I was like, this weather. I didn't go to the repass because I feel like I'm catching a cold, and a couple of people are like, you should still come, and I'm like, no, because I knew also before I went, and I remember saying, I think in the live stream, there was going to be some elderly people there, and you know, I didn't want to just risk anybody getting sick, like whether I knew or not, because some people, you know, at repasses and at funerals, you see people you haven't seen in a long time, but I just didn't want that, you know, on my conscience, like what if somebody catches a cold because of me, you know what I mean? And so So I didn't do that. And in my travels, I went past the exit to get to the cousin's house where the repast was. I like this look. Let me know. Let me know if you would do something like this. I think this is very interesting. And I do really like this look. I'm going to take that brush that had the purple. It might be my angle, but this side seems further out. So which side had the purple? This side had the purple. So we're just going to pull it over this way just a little bit. I like that. Ooh. All right, we're going to put this down. We are going to edit out putting on all the stuffs, and when we come back, we'll just do pictures and be done. I'm trying to make this shorter than the last video because that was like hella long. So we're going to just finish the face, and when we come back, everything will be done. This is our finished look, y'all, and I am freaking digging it. We did a whole lot of stuff, but I'll say what all of that is in a different video because we're also, myself and someone, we're doing a collab makeup of the day, and so I'm not going to be saying in these next few videos what's on my face because that'll be for that. Oh my gosh, I didn't mean to make, damn it, I didn't mean to make that shiny. Hell. Y'all, me. You know what, I remember what's on that brush now. This is a translucent powder. I'm just trying to tone it down. Y'all, I never highlight my nose. Maybe like twice I have, and I'm like, that is not for me because my nose is big enough. So I'm opening this translucent powder that I use to set the face, and damn it. All right, let me just disco ball on my nose, y'all. I can't stand it. Let me try the bronzer, one of the bronzers I used. I just cannot, like, I'm looking at myself like, like I can't even like focus. And this is gonna make it toasty. This is the bronzer, and it's still, y'all. Yeah, that ain't going nowhere. So I'm digging this look. We have two different colors in the brows. You probably only see the one. So we did bold and then muted to go with the bold and the muted. The lip. Y'all know I'm digging the lip. Something ain't looking right with the lip. I'm gonna leave it alone though. So let me know though if you missed me asking earlier if you would do a look dark to light. It is different and I love it. And I love when I try new things. Even if you don't like the look, thumbs up for doing something new. Have you seen anyone else do dark to light, like reverse like that? I wanted to get this shine off of this little piece right here, but it's not wanting to go. So it's looking like it's not blended. And it might be the way the light's hitting it. Anyway, so we'll look on this side. So let's do our pictures. And then one more with the palette for my gallery. I am excited about this. I'm wondering if I could do something like this with Madame Violet, but I kind of don't think so because the purples are different. The purples are different. So no, but we could do similar still, you know, outer corner. Well, inner corner, well, no, because all of these are metallics. Inner corner and maybe center and then outer, or inner, center and then outward. So we could still do that, but it would definitely look different because the tones are different. But let me know what you think. Hang tight. Another look is coming up right about. Thank you for hanging out. We're going to start with Cake Batter Chapstick. I'm excited because I do think this is my first time pairing these two palettes. And so what are these palettes? I'm underpainting slightly, so this is all going to get covered up later. And to see that video of what this is and everything else we're going to use, make sure you check back in December for the collab between like Maiden and I. So this is the Yucca palette, however you pronounce it. This is the only shadow in here not original to this palette. The shade that was here did not show up on me, so I thought, why are you here? And this, I believe, is from Retro Glam. So we're going to stay away from that color because we're using what's original to that palette. And what are we pairing Yucca palette with? We're pairing it with Golden. In my Golden, this shade, this This and this one, the ones that don't fit in the pan, that are too small for the pans, those are from the Mini Star palette. We're staying away from those. And so we will just be using the Yucca shadows and the Warm palette shadows, the I Need a Warm. So we're going to start, we're going to take, excuse me, my eyes are primed. I don't know if I said that or not. I just woke up like 20 minutes ago. I wake up and do videos like people usually wake up and have breakfast. We're going to take, I do have it written down, that's why I'm looking. We're going to take Valley, this shade right here. We're using Eastham's. This is the V27, and we're also going to be using the V31. On the new ones, they changed the color of the font so that it doesn't match the color of the handle, which is really great. So we're going to take Valley. We're going to coat both sides of the brush. That is going to go on the innermost and the outermost portion of our lid. So yes, we're doing a halo, spotlight, whatever you want to call it. And so this is how I do mine. I don't put the darkest shade all the way out or all the way in because I just don't like how that looks on me. It almost looks like I want to have a black eye. And it might just be my eye shape because of how the puff covers. I don't know. I just know that I don't like that. And so this is the way that I found that I like how halo eyes, spotlight eyes look on me. And so that's what that side is looking like. And I feel like this is going to be long because this takes a bit. So I'm wondering if I should edit out one eye, but then that'll be a lot of editing. So let's just keep going and just try to move quicker and try not to talk so friggin' much. So we're putting, yeah, you see where we're putting it. Let me know for your halo eyes, if you've done them, do you put the outer, what am I saying? Do you put the darkest shade on the outermost and innermost corners? And do you always bridge it? Because I don't like it when mine's are bridged either. It depends. If it's a monochromatic halo look, then yeah, the bridging is fine. But if it's an actual color that shows up different than the other shadows, I don't like how it looks when it's bridged. And that was something I had to learn too, because I kept trying to do the halo eyes the way other people do. And I'm like, why does this not look right on me, to me? So it's about what looks right to you, for you. So we're going to put that brush down. We're going to take a clean one and we're going to go into Flax. So this is the second deepest shade. We are coating both sides of the brush. And we're going to put this inside of Valley. So you see how it's lighter inside and then the darker shade. So let me know, though, how you like your halo eyes. And the reason I always say let me know things is also whoever else reads comments, you know, they may learn something or be inspired to try something from your comment. So it's not just, you know, my voice and what I do, but also your comment may help someone else too. And that's why we're here, to help each other. I don't like how this primer is blended right there. I don't know if you can see that patch of primer. And so we are going to go back with the first brush and we're going to blend these two shades together, like where they meet, because I can distinctly see in the mirror down here where one starts and where one ends. And I don't quite like that, but let me put a little bit more over here before we go in and do that. And we are using 3 shades, I believe, from each palette. So we're going to be putting 6 shades on the lid, actually 5. The 6th shadow will be underneath the lower lash line. I have a purplish on the inner realms, and I have a lime matte green on my lower lash line on top of that purplish shade. So I did overlap that. So we're going to go back with a brush that has Flax, and we're just going to just pull that over whatever's left in the brush just to soften up where the two meet right here and also here. And you're probably not seeing what I'm seeing, but I don't know. And so that's what we're trying to do. Part of me wants to go back into Valley, but I don't. Okay, it looks okay up here when I look up here, but when I look down here, yeah, it looks different. So we're going to go in with the 3rd shade, and so we're going to take the golden, not the golden. Actually, this is the golden. Did I call this the warm palette? I did. This is the golden palette. Golden. I don't know what I was thinking. Half the time I don't know what I'm thinking. We're going to take Varus. or Varus, this shade here. So it is going to be monochromatic. We're coating both sides of the brush, and this is going to go on the inside of Flax. And I think I'm running out of space for all the shades that I'm putting on. But that'll be good though, because then they'll just blend together better. And so this is all that we're, sorry for that glare. And so you see Valley, you see Flax, and then you see this shade. And so that's what we want. We want to see every shade, but for them all to work together. We're going to bring this up here. I don't think we have a shade for transition. No, we don't. So we're going to just bring this up because it appears to be a gap here. And maybe I should take Flax and put there, but we're not. We're just going to do this. And this is making me think I should do a brow bone shade. And so we're bringing this all the way over to where Varus or Varus stops. And just to, I think I might go back with the Valley and put up here that first shade. So we're just trying to take away some of this space that we have up here. And so actually, yeah, the brush that had Valley, we're not adding shadow to the brush, but we're going to just feather up here and also over here, just to bring the shadow up a little bit higher and not have so much space there. And I am digging this. Ooh. I see a line right here, which y'all probably don't, because I be seeing things and y'all be like, I don't see it. So now we're going to take Oro, or Oro, O-R-O, and that's in here. That's this shade. And this is going to go, ooh, that one is, ooh, it's snowing. So that's going to go right here on the inside of Varus. And it is almost taking up all the space. So we will have just a little strip in the center, as you see, of bare skin, which doesn't look so bare because this shade blends in to my skin tone. It just adds some shine. And so this is what, ooh, I like this. Oh. Okay, oh shoot, I forgot to use, damn it, that was the wrong shade, no wonder. We were supposed to take Alchemist. What did we do? We did Oro. Shit. So we're going to take Alchemist. That's what was supposed to be here. This is supposed to be the strip in the center. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and, and I had a completely different brush for this. So we're going to bring Oro over because that's supposed to be the center shade. But actually, you know, this is nice the way it is. And so we could leave it like this, but because we, you know, said we were doing something else, or I had on my notes to do something else. This is nice. This is simple, it's easy, but we're still going to take Alchemist, this shade here, because this was the one that was supposed to be on this edge. And I'm going to flip it over and on this edge. And this is not making that much of a difference, which is fine, because I do like it the way it is already. So it's like, troll, then why you keep messing with it? Just because I want Oro to stand out in the center. And so that's what we're going for. So again, we tap back into Alchemist. And so you see how Oro now is just that stripe of shine. You can see it more on this side. It's just a strip. And that's what I wanted. And so I like this. I like, oh my gosh. So now what we're going to do, I like this. I need to do, not need to, but I want to do something. We are going to take a tapered brush. This is Scott Barnes number 62. And we're going to go into sandstone. Or do I want to take Fushi? We're going to go into sandstone. And we're just going to just put this here, just to put a color there. Excuse me, so it doesn't look like so much bare skin, even though this is kind of like my skin tone. So we are bridging it, but not in a way that it's going to, you see how that all blends together? But not in a way that looks like it's bridged, because I have all this space up here. Oh, I like, y'all. Troll be doing the damn thing. And so we're going to leave that like that. Oh, this, even though it was a lot of steps, this is, I think, an easy halo look, even though we used 5 shades, 6 adding sandstone up there. But Easy and simple. So now we're going to take this Esom brush and we're going to take Fortune from the Yucca palette, Willow, this shade right here. So we're going in right here with this green, and we're going to put this on our lower lash line because we want to bring color into the look. And I'm using this brush because I also just want to break up all the tans. And I like how when I use a light pencil liner, gel pencil liner for lower lash line, and then I put a shadow on top of it, I love how you can see the darkness down here. That looks kind of grungy, doesn't it? But you can still see the line of the brightness. So I do really like that. So we're going back into Willow. This eye feels like it wants to tear, but it's not tearing yet. I did not powder down the face or anything, so whatever tearing happens, we will fix it. But this is covering up part of like where it usually tears. Well, not tears, but where the tear goes. And so we may just leave it. I like that. That looks really grungy. I like it. So for some of you, it may have been enough the way it was without putting this shade on the lower lash line or putting anything on the lower lash line. And so that's fine too. But if you want to just add extra stuff, this is an example. Okay, this is the brush with Valley because I feel it tearing now up here. And not over here though. I'm only just doing that because we did the other side. So we're going to edit out. Yeah, it's starting to tear. We're going to edit out, finishing the face. And when we come back, everything will be done. This is our finished look. We did a whole lot of things and I'm digging it. This eye, of course, is tearing and it's tearing upward. I don't know if it's that noticeable or not, but I really love this look. I just love how I do my halo for me. And again, let me know your process, how you do your halos. Do you put the darkest shade all the way out? Do you bridge it or not? But this way works for me, and it is easier when it is monochromatic because it's hard to mess up when all the shades kind of blend into whatever's next to it. But hang tight for the next look that we're going to do. I think it's appearing. I'm not sure, but you'll find that out. All right. Eyes are burning. Vanilla Mint chapstick. I have on the matte color excess gel pencil eyeliner in glider dye, which is the black one on my inner realms and my lower lash line. And it seems like whichever black I use for inner realms and irritates my eyes, but I put it on anyway because I'm trying to use stuff that I have not used in a while. But I think this might be the last time I use that because they're both burning. So what we're using today, we are pairing, I know that sounded weird, Biba with Circo Loco. And it's going to be kind of typical with Biba because we're going to use the brown shades in there. Yes, that's typical, right? And we may use this shade here for our transition area. But other than that, Biba's going to be kind of typical because y'all know I always like something dark in my outer corner, except when I did the dark to light. That was fun. What if I did that with this look? I didn't write it that way, so that's not what we're going to do. So we have our Scott Barnes brushes, 2 of the number 63. We have out 2 of the Hourglass number 3. We have an Esom T37. Excuse me, random brush. Actually, this is a Blend Bunny B5, so we're going to use this one as well for upper lash line, and we're going to edit out MAC 210 and the Esom, excuse me, V09 for our brows. And so, damn it, I forgot to prime my eye. We're going to prime the eye and come right back. We're using a Fenty. Okay, we're going to get started. We're going to get started with Biba, of course, for the dark shades. We're going outward, inward, dark to light. And we're going to start with Seed, which is this shade here with this Scott Barnes brush. Y'all, my eyes are burning. It doesn't feel good. So we're going to put this out here. Ooh, that's pretty. I love these 2 palettes. I love Biba. I don't use it as much as I probably should be, but then when you're trying to rotate stuff, sometimes stuff just doesn't get used. But I have found that pairing palettes helps a lot with using stuff, even if it's only a couple shades from each palette. And it's fun seeing, you know, what I can come up with. Today is November 5th. It's early in the morning, about almost 5 a.m. If you're new here, I am nocturnal, so that is not unusual for me. And I slept most of yesterday away, the 4th. I had an appointment at the VA hospital for my Botox injections for migraine treatment and prevention, and also in my jaw for my TMJD. So, and that usually wipes me out. More so the treatment for migraine. When I come home, I do usually go to sleep, but I've also been dealing with migraines off and on for the past 2 weeks as well, and the migraine med knocks me out. So I've really just been going through. My blood pressure was as high as it has ever been, and they were concerned. And so the pain management doctor, he was like, I recommend you go to the ED, meaning the emergency department, which, you know, most people just call it the ER, so I thought that was kind of strange. But anyway, he said, or see your primary care physician. I said, I'll go down and see him to see if he has time for me. And it turned out that the nurse dealt with me, and she's incompetent and she got on my nerves, but she does care. So of course, you know, they were really concerned my blood pressure was like stroke level. And having just dealt with a death in the family, she said something. I said, well, we all die. When it's our time, it's our time. I said, my uncle just passed away a few weeks ago. His service was Saturday. So whenever it's my time, it's going to be my time. And she just kind of looked at me like, damn. And I'm not homicidal or suicidal, but I'm just like, can I just go home and go to sleep? Because every time I have to set my alarm for something to get up for an appointment, that leaves me rest broken. And so I really just wanted to leave. I was in a lot of pain, which I deal with every day anyway. And so she was just like talking to me and then just sitting there for periods of time not talking. And finally I said, are we done? Like, can I go now? I was just like, I don't. And I told the pain management doctor I didn't want to go to the ER because of course they're going to try to put meds on me. And I understand, you know, the concern with high blood pressure, I really do. But there's also a lot of factors. And something the pain management doctor said that I appreciate, he said that being in pain every day can increase blood pressure. My primary told me sumatriptan can increase blood pressure. And if y'all didn't know, grief can also increase your blood pressure. So there's like all these reasons. And the pain management doctor was saying, you know, meds just treat the symptoms. For me, he said I need to just deal with what the root cause is. But grief has to run its course. I've been in joint pain, chronic joint pain, all of that stuff since the year 2000. And it keeps me at a level 4, with 10 being the worst with the pain meds, but it's still always there. You know what I'm saying? So, and as far as my cycle, my primary did try to stop it, but then I ended up just being on for like 2 straight weeks and migraines with that. So then we're going to take Restic. I realized something interesting. The Botox treatment does help me have fewer migraines per month, fewer migraine days per month, but I realized over the last 2 weeks it does not help for what the other doctor called menstrual migraines. And so I found that interesting because I didn't pay attention to that before. But yeah, so the Botox doesn't help with menstrual migraines, which the OBGYN said is from estrogen withdrawal. And so something that the pain management doctor said, he said, well, have they thought about, you know, hormone replacement therapy? I said, nobody's ever mentioned that to me except you. And I think because for doctors, and my primary is really good, but I think for doctors, they're just so used to, this is a symptom, give this medication. They don't really think outside of the box. Like, how can we, like my primary has said, you know, trying to stop my periods, since that's one of the triggers for the migraine, but that's a different trigger than other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so, but as far as, you know, hormone replacement, since I'm dealing with estrogen withdrawal when I'm on my cycle, so I don't know. And I sent the nurse, I told her I can send in my blood pressure numbers from home, which are still higher than they want, but less than what they are when I'm there at the hospital. My previous therapist called it white coat syndrome. And from Circo Loco, we are going to take Razzle Dazzle this shade right here. And so I didn't want to go to the ER because the last 2 medications that I agreed to try for my blood pressure, they both broke me out in hives and rashes really bad. And I'm like, I don't want to go to the ER because that's going to be what they'll do. And he said if I'm well, he didn't say it, but I have a feeling like if I would have went there and been resistant to taking something orally, they would probably just put an IV in me. And I didn't want that because I'm like, I still need to drive home. You know what I'm saying? And so I am thankful that the nurse dealt with me, even though she gets on my damn nerves. But, and my pressure did come down once I was home and after I slept. When I got home, I took a migraine med and laid down. And I did reschedule this live. You'll see the live on November 5th, which was scheduled for the 4th, but you'll see that way before this video. But I was sleeping so hard that when my alarm went off, like it startled me. Like I almost like jumped out of the bed. I was just like, what the hell is that? And I'm like, oh. And I was sitting there like, okay, I can do this look. And then, you know, do the live. And I said, you know what? I need to just go back to sleep. So I rescheduled it and went back to sleep. And I woke up almost around midnight. And I felt my migraine is gone right now. Like there's still some pressure behind my eye, but it's not like I can't function. So it did help, you know, just going back to sleep. And when I rescheduled it, I said, I must really be feeling crappy because I've never rescheduled a live since I started doing them a while ago. And so I was like, yeah, this must be bad. But, yeah, I was just like, I need to go back to sleep. Excuse me. And I'm always sleep deprived because I wake up every 90 minutes or so, and lack of sleep can increase your blood pressure too because your body's not healing itself the way it would, you know, when you're asleep. Because what happens when you don't feel well? You sleep a lot, right? That's when your body is trying to heal itself. And because I'm waking up every 90 minutes, I'm not really getting solid sleep, and I'm always sleep deprived. So there's a lot of reasons. So it's like, I don't know what there is really to do about it. I just know I don't want to keep taking a bunch of medications. So he did prescribe a potassium something diuretic. So I'm going to take it when I come back from Academy, which is this coming weekend. Now we're going to take Canon, this shade right here. And the other medicines that I had agreed to try, I told him I'm going to start it when I don't have anywhere to be for like a week. Because if I need to be somewhere or do something and I have a bad reaction to the medication, and I do have quite a few medication allergies, I said I don't want to be out somewhere and I'm not able to function, or I start having, you know, negative side effects. And he understood that. And so the nurse was like, well, you can pick it up the window and take it before you go home. I said, I'm not taking it today. And she just looked at me. So I explained it to her, and she just kept looking at me. And I understand the concern. But my concern is, what if something happens and then, you know, I get in an accident or something? And living alone doesn't help either, because if something really bad happens, there isn't anybody to take care of me or to help me. So there's a lot of factors. But enough about that. I'm liking how this look is coming together. Oh, man. Wait a minute. Was I supposed to do something else? I took this brush out for Canon, so we're going to put that away. We're going to take, why is that here? We're going to take this brush and go back into Biba, and we're going to take this shade Prairie, this shade right here, and we're going to put that, it'll be under our brow. We're going to take a more tapered brush than this, because I do just have a habit now of just taking my lid shades way up, so then when I want to do a transition shade, it ends up being a brow bone shade. So this is 62 Scott Barnes. So we're going to just tap straight in. And we're going to tap this up here. And Academy is always rough on me because the day starts at like 7 a.m. And I usually go to sleep after sunrise. And so my whole sleep schedule is going to be just jacked up. And even though I might like fall asleep at like, and the day doesn't end until like 10 o'clock at night. And so it's really hard on me. It's hard on my body. If I'm not on panel for a class or a topic, you know, I am able to go back, you know, to my room and take a nap. But even naps don't really work because then I'm still sleepy. And not to mention, when I'm napping, that's my usual sleep time. So I am just always so thrown off. And academy is only like every 4 months for 4 days, Thursday to a Sunday. And so I enjoy being on faculty for that because I have a lot of knowledge to share, you know, clinically speaking. And so I do enjoy that. This is pretty. This side has more, I don't know if this is this shade or seed. I think it's a mix of both. So I'm trying to just bring this out a little further, but I probably need to bring seed out a little bit further, but we're going to just leave, shoot, where's that brush? So we're going to just take the brush that has seed on it and try to make it look like that edge. So that's been my day today. And after this video, I'm going to air fry chicken that needs to be cooked. This is a brush that had foundation and primer, and there is, I don't think, anything on here. I didn't set the face or anything. Okay, that did it. So it's not going to look like this side, so maybe I can bring that down a little bit. Still, this side still doesn't have the point, but I'm okay with that. So what are we going to do? So we're finished with Prairie. We're finished with Biba. So there's 3 shades out of Biba. So now we're going to go back to Circo Loco, and we're going to take Grin. I freaking love this shade. That's going to go on our lower lash line with the Fenty 220. And we're going to start over here. My eyes teared at first from putting on the gel pencil eyeliner, but not much, which is great. And it's ironic because even though this eyeliner burns my eyes actually didn't tear as much as they have been with other liners, and the other ones don't burn my eyes. So that was just really strange. I mean, a good strange. But yeah, both of my eyes are burning. My eyes burning. I like when I do a dark liner underneath and then put a shimmer shadow, because you see the light underneath, and then you still see that dark line. And I did put a lot of this liner on. We're going to take this brush and we're just going to feather. And yes, this had Prairie on it, but I just see like a few flakes. So that is it for the liner, y'all. We're going to edit out everything else. And if you want to see what everything else is, you're going to have to wait till December and watch the video of the Makeup of the Day collabs that Lockmaid and I are doing. So yeah, we're going to edit out everything else and then we'll be back. This is our finished look. Y'all know I love a black lip. We did a lot of stuff. Y'all notice the brows look different. There's like a lot of stuff going on here. Let me know what you think of these looks. If you have Circo Loco, let me know what you think of that. You have Biba, let me know what you think of that. If you have Lila, Golden, what else did we use? Whatever the other palette we used, let me know what you think of that. What was it? Yucca palette or Yucca palette, depending on where you are in the world and how you pronounce it. But this is the end of this video. We will be back with another multi-video with Natasha Denona. So even though I'm not calling it a month of Natasha, this eye got blurry. What the hell? Even though we're not calling this, it's always something with me, y'all. A month of Natasha, we're just running Natasha for a little while, and I'm excited to really be like digging into these palettes more. And so thank you for being here. As always, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, join if you're inclined to do that. And as always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.